I'm preparing to change the name of this channel, which right now is called Individuation and Individuation Christian Malte, which is my name. And I thought this would be actually interesting because I'm changing it to something about creativity. I'm still doing the research. I was thinking about calling it The Creative Life. But there are already like 5 or 6 channels that are called that. So it still needs to be a little more, fine-tuned. I need to brainstorm and so forth. But it's getting there. And what's interesting here is that this process is actually very revealing of how creativity actually works, right? And I'll even throw in some Kabbalistic tree of life. Like Kabbalah was very popular a few years ago, and like a true hipster, I was into Kabbalah before it was cool, right? I did spend a lot of time studying it, and the fact is that Kabbalism ultimately is about creativity. It is about how the universe creates the universe, like God, if you like. But it's like the true God of Kabbalism is beyond. It's not. It's an utter nothingness which we can know nothing about. That's what's on top of the tree of life. But that doesn't matter for us. I'll be mentioning it here because you will see why. It has a very direct application. So the core thing is here, I decided to create this channel because I had a feeling that I should, okay? An intuition. And when we have an idea, this is very, very common. Like, culturally, we have an idea of what intuition is from the TV shows and the movies. Like people having a vision and, whatever. This strong sense of whatever. And yet, those might happen. I mean, you might have visions, but usually, most of the time, intuition doesn't work that way. Intuition is a feeling you get like, oh, this would be nice, this would be cool, this would be interesting. And usually you find that it keeps coming back up over the years many times, and that's a very good sign that that's intuition. And what is intuition? Intuition is like knowledge. It's self-knowledge. It's inner knowledge. So it's the deepest, what it actually is, to spoil it for you, is the deepest part of yourself telling you, hey, buddy, do that. Okay, you've been looking for an answer, it goes that way. Okay, that's the direction your answer lies. Okay, so in my case, for instance, okay, I had this intuition to create a channel about, and I called it individuation because ultimately that is what that is, which is the process of becoming yourself. Okay, but the thing is that it's a Jungian term, and it's very meaningful to me, who is the person who is expressing this, and it's my creativity, if you like, which is expressing this, this, taking the form of this channel. So yeah, individuation means a lot to me. It's very meaningful, but most people have never heard of it. We would be well served by collectively knowing more about it. But and part of the mission, if you like, I think of this channel, and I say I think because it's intuition. We will see in the playing out of it. But yeah, part of the goal of this channel, if you like, is to explain that, yeah, individuation is a real thing. There is a process which will take you from the false self, which is the current life you have, to the real self, which is the life that is kind of meant for you. The life that will be the deepest expression in many ways, all the ways that you want, ultimately, of the things that you do want, which will bring you fulfillment and which will be of service to the world at the same time. Okay, but in my case, okay, because my personality is filtering this intuition, okay, this kind of vague but persistent feeling, yeah, I should do a channel. And I'm building a coaching service, which is the same thing. which is, okay, I want to help people who are undergoing this process because I've been undergoing it for a long time and I know some of the pitfalls. I can help people with that because I have the experience, right? Okay, and also I know how to listen, and having been there, okay, there are scant few people on this planet who actually are willing and able to listen to you, okay? Right? So I can do it because I learned how to do it because for 10, 20 years, I didn't have the people listening to me. So I learned that skill. So, okay, I'll offer that skill. It's valuable, so I'll offer it. And okay, but so I was telling myself, okay, this channel will be linked to the coaching service, which I'm building the offer. But if you're curious, do drop me a line. But I'll link in the description. But my intuition was telling me build this channel, so I built the channel, even with imperfect content and an imperfect name, okay? Because even though I wasn't sure about the name and I wasn't sure about some of the content I put, I was sure that it was meaningful, okay? I was sure that it was things I wanted to say, but I didn't do like a market survey or whatever, like a market study. I didn't do any of these things. All the videos I've done so far on this channel is me sitting down on the chair and talking about one topic which is important to me and just rambling on, if you like, just extemporating. I don't know what the word is, but speaking extemporaneously about the topic, just what I'm doing now. What's the creativity here? Okay, well, in the Tree of Life I was mentioning, the idea is that there's this void and the creative impulse comes, and then it's in the, those high spheres of spirituality that usually we can't access, and even if we can, it's very fleeting, and usually it's not the world of matter, right? The world of matter is duality. Ultimately, the world of creativity is the total unity of all things, right? So, okay, but like according to Kabbalism, and my experience is kind of like that, but I'm not a guru. I'm just okay. So, where is that guy getting at? The creativity comes from those high spheres of whatever, okay, and then it passes through the abyss. It passes through, the strange space that separates unity and duality, which is where we live. Like our consciousness ultimately might be unity, but we live in hot, cold, day and night. We live in matter and duality, male, female. It might be polemical these days, but yeah, the reason there is life on Earth is through reproduction, and reproduction implies male and female. So that's duality, okay? And, okay, so the creative urge comes and it goes into the world of duality, and duality is a lot of confusion, right? In the creative process, your intuition needs to kind of find its grounding. It needs to find what it is actually trying to express in matter or duality. So I had the idea, I will help people. That's the intention here. I will help people to become more themselves, to find a way through expressing their inner self, of being their truest self. This is essentially what I'm trying to do here. That is the intention here. And that is the intuition. And it is both because I'm building a service, so there's money involved, okay? But it's a service-based service. It's an actual service, okay? I'm charging for it because we still need money to eat, and because it takes effort to do it, okay? Because we're in duality, and listening to somebody takes a lot of energy, which is one of the reasons why people don't know how to do it, and oftentimes they're not willing to do it because it is taxing. It's rewarding to listen to somebody, but it is taxing. So anyway, I'm charging for it because I'm in a human body, same as you. So, but at the same time, it's motivated by a real desire to help people. So that's kind of all part of. like the intuition tells me go this way, and all what I've just described of the different motivations, that's kind of like maybe like the second stage, right? Because I know I have all these feelings and all these motivations that are aggregated around that creative intuition. It's not an impulse, okay? It's not, oh, I need to do this. It's like more like a guiding and a knowing, right? So if you're thinking about writing a song or writing a novel or picking up crochet or whatever, like picking up gardening or getting back to painting Warhammer minis, which I did for a while, and that was a big part of me getting back into my creative groove, okay? You should listen to these things, okay? Because that is your intuition, okay? But yeah, your intuition sends you like the pull, you know, it sends you that feeling, that vague but persistent feeling that I should do this, you know, whatever, gardening, whatever, music. I'm trying to figure out, like in this channel, I have, okay, I'll do the channel for coaching and for PTSD because that's a big part of, you know, if you want to express yourself and you have a lot of trauma, you need to heal that. That was a big part of my life. It still is, to be honest, but did a lot of work so I can help with what I've learned, right? I've learned stuff, so, you know, I'm sharing. And it's important for creativity, so all these things, okay? But I was still thinking, okay, individuation, okay? But what I found, and in the recent, I did stuff, you know, I actually did stuff. I built this channel, and I didn't listen to the fears or the anxieties or the discouragement that was telling me, oh, you're not ready, you're trying to sell things, that's bad, you know, that's very frequent, or, you know, or people will hate you, or it's too personal, it's too risky, no one will care, whatever. All these things, we all have that, you know, and it's, if you're not used to it, it can be very paralyzing, and was paralyzing for me for years, right? And, but I did it anyway, okay, warts and all, okay. And I noticed that some of the content, like for the last, a week or two, I've been posting content on this channel. So I noticed that, you know, this worked well, like the midlife crisis video worked well, and that's because it's the same thing, midlife crisis, at least as far as I'm concerned, you know. You've been living this life, which is not the life you're meant to live. It's not the life that is true to your deepest self. So midlife crisis is telling you, okay, you're miserable, you don't have what you want, you haven't done what you wanted, so all these things, and it's very painful and unpleasant. So what is it doing? It's sending you like this intuition that you need to realign yourself to what your inner calling is, and it can be many things at the same time. It's not just one thing, and it's not all big things. It could be baking cakes. Could be part of your expression of being human. It's many things, not just one. Okay, so yeah, so midlife crisis, that worked well, and I had one or two creativity videos. I got some great feedback. So I'm looking at what people are telling me that is giving them something that they want and need ultimately, and not as a product, but as human beings. So that's the thing, right? And it's so bad because there's so much commercialism in this life that the idea that you might give somebody what they want is ultimately like suspect. But yeah, if people want help and you give them help, isn't that good? I mean, actual, and again, so long story short, I got the feedback. I had the intuition. I had a stage of trying different things, different ideas. So, like in the Kabbalistic tree of life, you know, there's the nothingness, and then the intuition, and it crosses the abyss, so-called, which is that void, incomprehensible void between unity and duality, and then all these things happen, and eventually you reach Tiferet number 6 on the tree of life, which is, you know, you finally get what the thing that you're expressing actually is. The thing that is trying to express itself. Your song, or your novel, or whatever it is. Okay, the painting on your car, whatever it is. Okay, okay, now I get it. Okay, um, I think it was Rodin or Michelangelo Rodin. I think very famously said, "All I'm doing is revealing." He was a famous sculptor. He has this huge block of marble, and he's sculpting these amazing, like masterpieces, very complex, sculptures. And he's all I'm doing is revealing the sculpture that is already in the marble. I'm just removing all the stuff that isn't that. And there's a sense of, I'm sure that when he's saying that, what he means in part is that there's a physicality to the rock, right? So, so there's an element of that's just, he's talking about the way the rock reacts to the chisel, basically. I'm certain there's an element of that. I haven't studied, sculpting, but, that would make sense, right? But I'm also pretty sure like it works pretty well just as a metaphor of creativity, because I built this channel, for instance, whatever it is you're creating, and I had all these ideas and they're all part of it, but there is stuff that is imperfect or not quite the right thing. And as we as we go on, as we work on the thing, it becomes more clearer. What the shape becomes clear. We actually start to discover what the thing we're creating actually is, and then it's a process of refining it and cleaning it up, and and refining like the object that we're birthing. So yeah, so as I said, this channel seems to be, again, it's completely linked with the midlife crisis, but it's really about expressing your deepest self, because it's important to you and it's important to the world, especially right now. So becoming the person you want to be, becoming part of the post-dystopian renaissance, which we were all expecting and hoping for, and that's how we build it, right? Become yourself, become the best version of yourself. So it's all that, but because of my experience, okay, there's the videos about Trump, because that's a big part of it, but ultimately it's about doing that, becoming your truest self and the best version of yourself through creativity, because that is my knowledge, that is my path, if you want to use that word. I don't like the word path, really. It's very, but let's just use it for now. So that's the way I found it. It's what speaks to me, and it's what makes sense. It's what makes sense for me. What is the name actually going to be? Well, I need to do some chiseling. I need to do some looking around. Not entirely sure, but something to do with creativity. And you will notice it's all the same thing. It's all, there's the midlife crisis, there's the PTSD, there's the removing blocks, because it's all the same thing, But it's more focused, it will be more focused on creativity, because that is what my intuition is actually trying to tell me. Yeah, so life is good. It really is kind of magical, and we are all guided by life in many ways. Like, in many ways, life is guiding us, taking us by the hand like a kid, right? And go this way, and you'll be happy. So once again, create your masterpieces. Can't wait to see them. Life is good. See you soon.